Okay, let's talk about it. The shit going on in Springfield. I know I got white shit all over me. It's not cocaine, unfortunately. It's drywall dust. Really, fortunately, it's not cocaine because I've never been this big speed freak anyway. But you realize that any cop within the state of Ohio can arrest any of those illegal immigrants in Springfield. Any of the cops in any of the states where this is happening, allegedly happening anyway. Because I don't believe anything the media tells me. I don't believe anything that people on social media tell me. I believe what people I trust tell me. I'm not the guy that says, everybody on social media is a liar. But I seen this stuff on social media. Zombie farmer. So it's true. It's true, by God. Today in this country, well, yesterday in this country, last week in this country, the likelihood of you being shot when there was a cop in your presence is 5 times that of when a cop is not in your presence. Cops are allowing this to happen. Yet, the jail in the county that Springfield is in, I think it's Newark. It's not Newark County. I think it's the same county though. It may not be. It may not be. Could be completely wrong about that. Regardless, I bet you that county jail is filled with whites and blacks. Guarantee it. And for dumb shit. Dumb shit. Not where somebody has caused loss, injury, or harm to another person. For not obeying government. So is the problem the invaders, or is the problem the ones that will execute policy upon you through threats of force and violence or even kidnapping while not doing the same to this other group because they're told not to? So let's go back to years ago when I first started talking about the police are the greatest enemy to the people and freedom. Even though it's because they will do whatever they're told to do, all of them. Now, they may have a line, but that line isn't drawn because of you. It's drawn because of them. And even then, look at COVID. Look how many people, cops, state cops through COVID, were cops today. And when it came down to it, they didn't quit because of what was going on. Or they didn't get fired because of what was going on. They quit or got fired because they personally didn't want to take a shot. Do you think they'd been happy to make you take it? If government made it law, they would. So if you want to, sit around and believe that border jumpers are the greatest threat, I'm not saying they're not a problem at all. What I am saying is the ones that will gladly threaten you, will be glad to kill you, will be more than happy to kidnap you. And for those same reasons that they would do that to you, they will completely ignore this group of people because they are told. What's the greater threat? Are you worried about the armed robber coming through your window, or the goons showing up at your front door with badges on? What are you more concerned with? When you drive through a bad part of town, does your asshole pucker up? Does it pucker up when the cops get behind you? You're driving down the road around a stop sign. Listen, dislike for the police doesn't mean you're a criminal. I have a criminal record. It has nothing to do with my views on police. Why? Because they're sound views. It No man has authority over another man. Government cannot give itself authority over me or over you that it does not have. All these systems that have been put in place over time, over the last 150, 170 years, they're not constitutional systems. Government is not supposed to have any authority over the public. Self-governing society, self-governance. That doesn't mean you vote for somebody to rule over you. It's not what that means. We literally have it far worse today than the men who founded this country, people who died fighting so that you could have the chance to be free. They had it then. Over a 3% tax, they lost their shit. It's not exactly what caused the Revolutionary War, it's part of it, but it wasn't the whole thing. Over the Stamp Act, they lost their shit. You motherfuckers are happy to pay 60% of your income to some form of extortion called taxation, and they will still claim to be free. I'm done hearing about the Haitians. Fuck them Haitians. Those Haitians will be dealt with, and they was not protected by who? The police. You see how this works? The criminals, the police, now protect the part. Well, they're all criminals in the sense they jumped the border, but, and I only say that because a country without borders is not a country. So who do you blame? The people that are doing what they got to do to make a better life for themselves, even if it means breaking the God government's laws, which they wouldn't be doing that if people shot their asses as they was coming over the border on their land. That shit would come to a stop real quick. I watched a video a few weeks ago. There's a couple that bought land that was right up against the border in Texas. They're out there on a camper, saving money, built a house. They said, the first week they were there, they seen 50 people walking through their property. They can't do nothing though. If they do something, then, they go to jail. So the system is created. They've created this system where you have few options. You obey, do as you're told. You defend your property, they'll kidnap you. If you don't do as you're told, they'll kidnap you. But when they're told not to kidnap these people over here, that's what they do. So you tell me, who's the real enemy? And if you know the government is the one doing all this, the cog in the machine that keeps the machine alive and working is the police, is your local police, is your local sheriffs. Without them, none of the other ones would matter. Wouldn't even matter. But, it's hard to get that shit through people's head. People are just going to continue to believe what they believe. Doesn't matter what evidence you show them. Doesn't matter what they see with their own eyes. They're going to believe whatever somebody on social media that they agree with to some degree says. And that's the world we live in. What are those people in Springfield going to do? What are those people in Aurora going to do if it is happening? Huh? Fight back? Then will the Patriots go and help them? Help them fight the tyrannical government that then comes to kidnap them and cage them for their life? No. It'll be an excuse. The only patriots that are alive today, you'll only know because you'll see them on the news deemed as some criminal, and you will fall in line with that same belief. shot 4 cops here, or the guy that killed a cop there. You know, it's like the Gestapo. One dies, you have a big parade for them, big national parade, praising their service to thy God government for ruining your fellow countrymen's lives over having a plant in their car, for doing all the immoral shit that they do. Which, if you ask me, is far more of fucking immoral than what any border jumper does. Well, not any of them, but than just those that jump the border. We're not talking about things they do after that. Just for jumping the border. It's far more immoral to do what police do than it would be to walk across land or an imaginary line. You can't tell people shit, man. I'm like truly pro-freedom. No, you're not, because you believe in borders. Well, without borders, you don't have a country. And what happens is you have people that are unwilling to stand up to their government. They will take whatever that government gives, even if it drives the country in the ground like Venezuela, and then they'll want to come to where you live and do the same thing. Plus, there's some economic reasons for it. When there's less workers than jobs, wages go up. When there's more workers than jobs, wages go down. So without borders, there's no country, and there's no way that people would ever make it. Hey, that's just me. I'm just some, high school dropout with a GED and a high school diploma, jailhouse lawyer degree, white dude, redneck.